die questen in gaan leveren. Want als ik stroom natuurlijk ga diverten, kan het zijn dat ik misschien bepaalde NPC's niet meer kan bereiken. Zo, laten we dat eerst even doen. Eentje moeten we hier inleveren. Ludwig zat volgens mij in town.
Any luck finding one of those manuals? No kidding. Really? Well, which one? The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Ms. Parvati, I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
Electrocharge surface? Oké. Journal. Robot map. Dus op de landingpad. Doe die even leveren, dan hebben we zover ik heb kunnen vinden de side missies compleet.
Bring us honor, soldier. Bang up work, soldier. So this is it. I would reward you with the gratitude.
Mooi. Doen we die er nog even bij. Zo, dan is deze technisch gezien ook klaar voor nu. Die zijn allemaal op 50. Perks hadden we nog geen, oké. Wacht, modify armor. Mijn armor is nog even klaar trouwens. Wacht wel even mee totdat ik een fatsoenlijke armor heb gevonden. Nu hebben we alleen nog maar die 2, hè. Terug naar de powerplant. Nou, eerst even weer 7. Dat is toch wel een redelijk belangrijke keuze. Direct power. Oh, ik ben er nog eentje vergeten. Oké. Ik dacht dat er maar 2 waren. Na, 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 na. even kijken hoe ik daar kom. Alles is wacht. Hier lopen naar buiten, dus dat heeft geen zin. Dus dan moeten we toch hier gaan kijken.
Wow! Great work! The last.
Zo. Gewoon de poging.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
Okay.
Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Oké, nou, schaf. Gie direct. Wij gaan naar Brutalica. Oké, hij is terug naar town. Ik ga eerst even hier naar Botanical Lab. Nou, die stroom hebben.
Do you hear that? That low, pleasant hum of electricity? It whispers across the veil like the winds of change. You've done well. I would have paid my last 5 bits to see the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out and the cannery fell to silence. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear. Blunt as a hammer. But you're right. Nothing can undo the past. Time's come to look toward the future. We'll grow, I expect. A lot of workers out there with nowhere else to go. Not as many as you'd think. We're not about to let the whole town join our flock. Just the ones willing to renounce their corporate loyalties and live the way nature intended. I am curious. Why did you help us? You don't know who we are. You don't owe us a thing. The plant's crawling with mechanicals, so it stands to reason you risked your life.
Boah, op zich, hè?
You're not quite like anyone else I've met. You haven't had your consciousness programmed by the board. You're welcome among us if you're ever so inclined.
Nou, kunnen we een Edgewater. Daar is natuurlijk een puinhoop nu. We zullen deze ook even saven, want ik ga ervan uit dat ik hier niet zomaar naar binnen kan wandelen.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters. Plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it?
Wacht, even. Noodpad. Oh, wacht, nee. Volgens mij heb ik voor. Ik wil het even aanvullen. Oh, hier. Zo.
Is that right? I'm dying to hear this. Please, educate me. Liberating? Edgewater is my home. The only home I've ever had. I put down roots here, gave decades of my life to this place. I never asked to be liberated. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. All right, easy now. Let's not do anything we'll regret. I'll order my guards to stand down. Take what you came for and then leave us be.
Oh.
Stand down, all of you. We're done.
Oké, dat werkte, daar sta ik een beetje wat te kijken. Zzz. Nou, dan gaan we naar de landing site. Oh. Cannot fast travel because of hostiles, oké. Auw. Hey, nou best een groot schip. Er staat trouwens zo'n toren.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Zo kun je het natuurlijk ook zien.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Laten we deze in ieder geval hierin doen.
I Can't stop thinking of Edgewater, Captain. I'm glad the deserters are gonna be alright now they got power, but what about the town? All those people. That's on account of how I never met her. It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
Oh.
Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda. I'm just glad he's alive. That he's okay. I mean, when Mr. Thompson said he was fired, we all expected the worst. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me. There was a kind of a thing with a vending machine when I was 12.
Dat is al even geleden.
Sure, but folks got long memories around here. I've always been good with my hands, right? So I saw a lock on the machine and thought, oh, this must be how they refill it. But I had to know. So I did my thing, and next thing I know, there's a couple hundred bottles of 0G rolling out the front door and into the road. It's not funny. Right about then, a bunch of loaders came rolling in the gate, fresh off the Saltuna ships. And Mr. Thompson was up on the porch making a speech about how everyone would have to volunteer a third shift to get it all canned. Anyhow, you ever seen an auto loader run over a bottle of 0G? Exploded all over Mr. Thompson. One bottle after another as the loaders went by. I was just shy of working age, so Dad had to pay all the damages. Moreau's still angry at me. I can laugh about it now, but I just about puked up my guts in terror in the moment. That's the one time I ever made Mr. Thompson look a fool.
Oh, klinkt goed toch? Zo, in ieder geval eens even met Ada praten.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise.
Okay.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Wacht, eerst even kijken of we met 4K kunnen praten. En of er al wat deuren open zijn. Nieuwe stroom, nee dus.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening.
Confessional listening? Dat überhaupt een woord?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition. That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them. My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it. They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me. The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. Our paths have variance, but we'll end up adhering to it, whether we like it or not. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go, it's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will only stretch so far before it snaps back. The further it is stretched, the more violent the eventual correction.
Ja, dat is logisch.
I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated. What about you? What's your story? And how did he do that? Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now? That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you?
Ik had eigenlijk gehoopt dat er gewoon is. Omdat ik gered ben, ga ik de rest ook redden.
A commendable attitude. Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
Okay.
The story of my life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bakonu journal. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death. I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosophist scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him. That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
Oké.
Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock.
Aha.
I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. Thank you, Captain.
Nou, dan denk ik dat de volgende stap is hier van de planeet te vertrekken. Of in ieder geval die testen doen. Ja, we kunnen gewoon die saven. Is dat wel een 6 geweest? Gaan we er dadelijk mee stoppen.
Welcome back, Captain. All systems are now operating within acceptable parameters. Shall I take our ship into orbit?
Nou, doe maar. Oei! Ja, een mooi begin van onze playthrough.
I received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Oh, okay.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design. Cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
Oh, nou, we gaan er dadelijk kijken.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Dan gaan we eerst even kijken of we in de Captain's Quarters kunnen nu. Zo te zien, kunnen we dat? Holographic projects a disguise on you and your companions that give you access to restricted areas, providing you have a correct ID cartridge for that area. Restricted areas are off-limit to unauthorized personnel and otherwise result in being attacked on site. Ah, klinkt goed. Oh, Sam. Hmm. Du. Ik denk dat ik nog wel wat companions tegenkom als ik de hoeveelheid... sleep quality. Dun 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 dun. Nou, laten we eerst even met Ada praten over Sam dan nog.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate.
Okay.
May luck be with you.
Even kijken, die hadden we nou allemaal op 50. Dan doen we eerst deze, dan zit die ook op 50. Zo. Dan kunnen we daarna stelt nog een beetje verhogen naar 50. Base health. Pakken we dan dit keer. Ja. Oké, die heeft een shotgun en een ding. Armor 10. Dat is een light armor. Oh. Voor jou is even... Oh, one-hand melee, daar hebben we sowieso niks aan. Lockpick. Heavy weapons plus 5. Dat valt dan onder heavy weapon? Nee, dan long guns.
Make yourself at home, Captain.
Assets deepener. Oh, Roseway, oké. Nou, dan gaan we bij de navcomputer staan. Doen we hem dan nog even saven en dan gaan we ermee stoppen voor vanavond. Of voor vandaag eigenlijk. Het is nog net geen avond. Nou, iedereen bedankt voor het kijken.